Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to my channel. My name is Ogbanje Joseph. Today we are going to be talking about voting behavior. Now, voting behavior is one of the political behavioral patterns that looks, at the attitude and character of the electorates in relation to their voting pattern. It implies the ability of individuals to express their content or discontent within an institutional or organizational framework. This is made possible in most societies because of the extension of franchise and the proliferation of interest groups such as trade unions and so on. Many factors indeed influence voting behavior in several societies. One of the factors that influences voting behavior is the personality of the politicians. Number one, personality of the politicians. Now, in several countries of the world, the personality of the politician, his psychoanalysis, his past, present, his achievements, what he has been able to do in private and public life is actually a determinant, for voting behavior, for people to actually, decide for him during an election. So the personality of the politician is actually, a factor to actually determining people's voting behavior in every society. In the Western world, for example, before an individual is actually considered for a political office, there is always a scan from when he was born to to his secondary days, to the university and school days, to his private life, to his public life. All of these things are actually put on the front burner before the person is actually, is voted for in an election. So the personality, who are his parents, who are who are his friends, who are his contemporaries, who are okay, who is his who is he married to, or who is she married to. All of these things actually, form the basis upon which people actually make their decisions based on the personality of the individual. So personality actually plays a very important role when, people are actually deciding during an electoral period. Okay, so the personality of the politician is actually very important. Okay, so that is number one. Okay, then number two, political party programs. Now, the ideology of the party, the manifesto of the party, the policies and programs of the political party form the basis of upon which people actually, make their decisions to either vote for a political party or not. Now, the party program is actually very important for the people. However, in the third world societies like Nigeria, the political party programs does not really matter. In fact, when political parties win election, once they get to power, they jettison those programs. In fact, there was this political party that won election in Nigeria, and after winning election on the basis of the party programs, came to power to tell Nigerians that they never promised all that. So political party programs, which is supposed to actually be at the forefront of people's voting behavior, is actually not it, particularly in some third world societies. But in the Western world, before a particular political party is actually decided for, the party programs must be studied in total. In fact, there's a critical analysis of the party programs that is done before people actually make up their mind for that political party. Power off. Okay, so to that extent, a lot of people actually do not blindly give, their votes to a political party just because of prejudices or some other considerations. It is actually the party programs that determines whether the people actually vote for that political party or not. Okay, so number two is party programs. Okay, number three is the socio-economic well-being of the individual. Now, this is not actually, this is not a big factor, but it is also a factor. Now, the economic standing of the political, or of the candidate standing in an election is a factor to be considered in in actually deciding for that personality. So the socioeconomic well-being of an individual, what has he done with his money? What has he done with his economy? How robust his economic life is also a factor to be considered during during the voting period. Another factor that is considered is ethnicity and regionalism. Ethnicity and regionalism. Now, in Nigeria, ethnicity plays a big role in political behavior. Now, what subtly is actually happening in the country today is that, if a president actually rules from the north for 8 years, after the 8th year, it goes to the south, and then the south actually rules for another 8 years, it goes to the north. So it has been a politics of rotation between north and south. And when it comes to ethnicity, now a lot of things don't matter. The party programs don't matter. The personality of the politician does not matter. What matters is, this is my person. This is somebody from our place. So let us just vote for the person, whether the person is competent or not. So ethnicity and regionalism is a big factor when it has to do with voting behavior. Okay, so so ethnicity, like I said, is actually a big factor. Another factor that is a big factor, in actually influencing voting behavior is religion. Religion. Okay, now in some countries, yes, a lot of countries are actually secular in nature. Okay, however, religion actually plays a subtle role in the voting behavior of the people. Now, in Nigeria, for example, okay, until let's say before now, if the president actually comes from the north, okay, and is a northern Muslim, the vice president will come from the south and he'll be a southern Christian. Okay, even right now, in the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, yes, we have the Muslim ticket, but what used to be is that if there's a Muslim in the saddle, the vice president, of course, what we have is that there is a Muslim, the president is actually a Muslim South. What he was supposed to do was actually to take a Christian northerner. However, that was not to be, because we have a Muslim northerner. All of these things actually affect the voting behavior of the people. Okay, so that is exactly what happens. And in several countries of the world, these things actually exist, whether whether openly or covertly. Okay, whether overtly or covertly. So it exists. What is important is that there are factors that actually affect the voting behaviors of the people. Okay, and some of these factors were the things I actually mentioned. I talked about the personality of the politician. I talked about the political party programs. I talked about, I talked about ethnicity and regionalism. I also talked about, religion. Okay, so all of those actually, are factors that actually determine, or factors that affect the voting behavior of the people within a particular political system. Okay, so thank you very much.